What's up, you guys? Mitchell and
What's
Mitchell
up?
sipping spill in the building. What's going on? It's been a long time, and your boy back in the motherfucking house. I want to know how y'all doing. I want to see what everybody's been up to, and we're gonna get into some motherfucking topics today. We're gonna get into some talking about some good stuff today, right? What you think?
That's what we do. That's what we do.
Yeah, yeah. When you do that, I can start getting nervous. Like, what's going on? What you looking at? You start doing this. Kimmy does this crazy stuff. She does these. She does these. I'm thinking. I don't know if it's. I don't know what's happening. It's probably nothing but like. Oh yeah, my. So what's up, you guys? You guys are back in the house. Mitchell and Mitchell is back.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah, yeah. Let me go and turn you down a little bit. Your ass.
When you get on here, you got to
Shit.
be lit.
Yeah.
Everybody got they looking and they checking for us because we sure hear about it in the DMs.
Well, no, you hear about them in the DMs. I don't even hear
You
shit.
ought to be checking. That's what it is.
What's going on, y'all? We back in the house. Mitchell and Mitchell Sipping Spill back in the building. With your boy Eddie Ed, which is not official name. I just keep calling myself Eddie Ed. Your boy Ed, your boy Kim and Kim in the building. Your boy Sip to the motherfucking spill. What's going on, Spill?
That's right. What's
Are
up,
we good?
It's absolutely.
What's going on?
So as always, we are always lit in our own essence of what we do.
Right,
That's the Mitchell and Mitchell Sip and Spill. And of course, I'm your girl, Kimmy Kim, aka Spill. So today we're talking about listen, I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to the Breakfast Club as well as Tyler Perry. It was a subject that they were talking about that Sip and I also engaged in within and ourselves. And that is, what are women checking for? Are you checking for the man that has that bag, or are you checking for a man that got your back? So nowadays, women are making more money than ever. Okay. And a lot of guys are not. They're making more money than a man. So if you're in a relationship, are you concerned with the fact that you are bringing home the most income, or you have more income and the partner that you're dating or, married to does not, but he contributes in other ways, meaning like a woman would have a child and she's watching the children, or he's paying, the light bill, you know what I'm saying? All of it is a contribution, but we're trying to figure out, what are women really looking for these days? Like, what are they really checking for? Because it's a lot of guys are saying, ladies, if y'all don't have that bag, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'm gonna do with you, player. So that is a concern. And Tyler Perry decided to, with all the wonderful shows he got going on and dealing with all different, especially us black women, decided to put it out there that basically he asks women to give men a grace. Basically saying that, hey, um, you know, you might not have a man that make as much as you make, but if he can pay the light bill, allow him to do that. If he's loving and he's faithful and he's doing all these other miraculous things that just not based on income or the amount of dollar that he have, whether he's an hourly wage or a salary income, he said, give him grace. So what do you think? What do you think? Should you give a man grace? Are you checking for? I need to know if bro man got that bag. Like if he can be able to get my nails done, my hair done, take me out to flying dinners, you know what I'm saying? Make sure I got everything I need. I mean, you know, that's what we checking for. What's up, Facebook user? We can't see the name. So I'm just going to say shout out to everybody that's watching us currently right now. So with that said, ladies, if you're listening to me, or men, chime in. Go ahead and drop us a comment. We want to hear from you. What are you checking for, ladies? You want that man that have a bag, or you want him to have your back? What you think, Sip?
I think they want both. I mean, everybody want a little bit of both. They want a little piece of heaven. You want a guy that's got the money. You want a guy that cares about you as well. But obviously, we know there's been I guess, a shift, and where women are making a lot more money because we had a conversation. We were talking about how women are a lot more detail oriented over the course of the past 20 or 30 years, and that details, that paying attention to detail, that drive to want to get more education has put them in a situation where they can do more, be more productive than a lot of men in a lot of ways.
Right.
So
Right.
that put them in a position where they can have more money. A lot of guys have been more, we're more used to, if we're not the boss or whatever, we're not as detail oriented. Sometimes we're not as task oriented. Some guys got drive like that. Some guys may not. Okay, so now it's shifted where women more than likely have a better opportunity with resources, better opportunity with jobs. However, I think that I don't know if I necessarily agree or disagree with what Tyler was saying. I think it comes down to the woman. If what's more important to you, what's important. I think for the most part, women want to feel secure. They want to feel like they man, got their back, or and having their back, meaning they can take care of things if they need to, financially. They want to feel like they ain't got to worry about every month if the light gonna be off or if the mortgage or rent gonna get paid. So I do understand that concept. However, if those people that you seem to tend to have that kind of money aren't as interested in being loyal to you or faithful to you or want a damn relationship with you, then you got to be, I guess you got to fool with the one who wants to be with you. If he wants to be with you like that, I just think guys with money, just put it like this. Men with money, and the way it is, we talked about this shit before. Men, people, everybody got options. Women got options, men got options, right? What we look for in relationships, or what women look for, what men look for, could be similar, but mostly could be different. And what we want is somebody to be quiet, give us a meal, and give us some sex. Okay, that's what it is. If you're doing more than that, it might be a problem.
Well, not all men. Some men don't feel that way. Some men is absolutely okay. I'm gonna give a shout out to my brothers. It's okay if they want to make more money than them. They secure in who they are and what they do and what they bring to the table. Some men will say, "Listen, I might not make as much hourly wage as Charlie that you do, but I put it down in the bed, and she coming home to me every night, no matter who step into her with whatever kind of money that he making." So it really do, to me, Sib, depend on the person. It depends on the person. I don't want to speak for all Black women, and I'm not going to speak for all Black men. But I would say it depends on who you are. That's why I want to hear from the ladies and different ones that are out there, single, dating. What are you checking for? Or you in a relationship currently, and he has to keep a status quo. He has to keep making that bag in order to keep you interested. Um, I think that, Sip, that sometimes we do want things, but just because they just things. But what do you really want? Like, do you really want somebody that's gonna have your back? Because he can make all that money right now,
Well, let's
but he can
define
lose that.
let's define having your back. What does that mean? Because I'm
So having
saying,
your back is a man that's gonna take care of you when you can't. Say you lost your job. Say you get put down, you become disabled. Say that you can't pay your light or rent or mortgage that month,
the
and
man,
your man does it.
okay, but see, that's the man that has the money, though.
No, what? Nuh-uh. So hey, not necessarily. So what I'm saying is, listen, if that's your woman and you a man, y'all say that some men. I'll speak for some men. I can't speak for all men. Say they are provider, priest, and protector. So at the end of the day, if I'm telling you that all I got is $50, but we need 300 to keep the lights on, and that's all I got, and you don't have anything, that's when men will go and say, I got to get that bag because I got to make sure my lights stay on for my woman or my wife. So I'm saying it's how hungry he is to keep his relationship, his family, and whatever he got going on. Because a woman can be providing, and he could be like, I feel in some sort of kind of way. There's a lot of men feel like that either. I don't want to be a woman doing everything and anything for me, but he got her. So he blessed because there's another man out there wish he did have a woman that will be taking care of him or being there for him while he down, right? Same way with a woman. I just, you know what I'm saying? I've been through a situation. I just broke up with my man. I just got a divorce. Things ain't hitting for me right now. He come in and he look out. He pay mortgage, rent, light, cable, everything. He taking her and the kids out or her out. I'm just saying it works both ways. It really do. It work both ways. But I feel as a man, and this is I will go, my opinion, I feel as a man, whoever you with, I don't care how much you got in your pocket. If she holding you down or you or vice versa, you should contribute to whatever that is because that's powerful in itself. Like, babe, this all I got is $25, but you got whatever it is, even if you gotta hide that because this is what we gotta do. We're a team. So I think a lot of times people come in relationships with unexpected expectations of what we should be doing without even having a conversation, sis.
You think it's unrealistic for women to expect to have a guy that's making pretty good money? It's like you got to kind of accept that guys aren't making money now for the woman that if you want to be in a relationship, you think that's kind of the thing, that's the norm, that women got to go into the game knowing, let's say 30-year-old women now, 30, 25, 28-year-old women. And those guys, I know a lot of those guys is that age. and they've been in the penal system, and it's hard for them to get a job unless they hustling and things of that nature. Do you think that maybe the expectation is just, okay, this is what I'm gonna get, and as long as you rocking with me and you got my back, like, hey, I got five. This month I've been paying the rent and the bills all this time. This particular month I'm short about $500, and he don't necessarily have it, but
Okay.
I'm just the woman, and
Okay.
he said, all right, cool, I got you. I'm gonna go out there and do whatever. And a lot of times, this is what I'm gonna say about that. A lot of times, those guys are putting that pressure. That's been like guys that were selling and doing whatever, right? Now they say, all right, damn, she got my back. She was handling business, man. Damn, I'm messed up. I tried, my background getting me. I can't get this job. Man, I'm gonna have to hit these streets. Now I gotta go back to what I know. Now you kind of putting the person back in the situation. So is it safe to say it's okay for women? Are they kind of settling now? Should they just go ahead and settle? Is that what they're saying?
So you're saying, Sip, that's a two-part question. So I'm gonna answer the first part. So if you're saying that we in a situation and he says, I don't have it, he don't even have a job at this point. He not working, but he know what he know, and that's what he's used to. And with that said, it's like, well, it's kind of like you just said you put him in a situation. I'm gonna read that. I didn't get a chance to read it. We'll read that, then I get to it. But to answer your question, Sip, I feel that if it's not that she's putting him in any position to go do anything. Most men or women go for what they know. If they feel like that's easy, that's an easy bag, then they gonna go get that bag. But like I said, if we a team, then I'm gonna hold you down if that's what you go do and you trying to make it happen. But like I said, most of the time you go do that without even having that conversation because you both can brainstorm how you can make things happen. Now, you shouldn't make each other feel so pressured to the point to where you feel like now you didn't put me back in the penal system. You see what I'm saying? It's just one of those things I feel like that you guys should have that conversation. It shouldn't be about like a you or me. Now, the second part you said, or the first part you said was, do you think women should settle or think that or just automatically think that guys out here right now are pretty much not making as much money? So therefore, I really shouldn't have an expectation that I'll meet a guy that make more money than me, that can provide me and give me that bag that I want. I'm gonna say, hell no. You should never settle because listen, every day, all day, there is somebody out there that's willing to do that and then some for you. So let's get to people that's already. We ain't even talking about the date. Let's get to people that's been married or in a marriage and a woman making more money than the man, and he still is the priest, provider, and protector of his home. Is he not, Sip?
Is she making more money?
She making more money, but he's still the priest and provider, the protector of his home.
I don't know if he's the provider.
Okay, just because he making more money, that don't mean he can't provide.
Okay.
So see, that's what I'm saying. It truly to me depends on the relationship of the two people. Let me get to a comment. Deborah said, I've been with men with money, wealthy, and I didn't feel secure or stable. I want protection and some financial support. If I can't get it, loyalty and honesty, and sometimes take out the damn trash. LOL. I agree with you, Kimmy. If I'm laying up under him, I should be paying his shit too sometimes. Okay, teamwork is important and being observant and communicating is important. Absolutely, Kimmy. I 100% agree, Deborah. I think that a lot of times you just don't have those type of relationships because you guys go into relationships with these roles. Like you just said, most men will say, priest, priest, provider, and protector. I know for myself as a woman, and most women, I think, just as Deborah said, I want to feel safe and secure. Like a lot of us women, we have stepped up to the plate and, basically grew our own penises and we making our money, whether we have a man that have one or not. But at the end of the day, we still want one. And if we do, it contingent upon what we want. So for me and Deborah, and a lot of women would say, I want a man that got my back. Like I really want him to have my back. Like, so and also I think, Sip, I think a lot of times when you're in a relationship, you're not pouring into your person that'll make both of y'all truly have their back. So Deborah says, yes, absolutely. I truly believe that. And I think we just be like, he got to go get it. He got to go get it. So, and then, that goes into a whole nother subject. But a lot of people asking for things in a relationship with people that they're not even that person themselves. You want them 6'7", chocolate, okay? You know what I'm saying? Clean teeth. You know what I'm saying? He got beautiful, beautiful skin. And then you want him to have that bag. And then He don't give a damn if he walk you across the street or open the door or nothing. But you got that looks. You got that. Are you kidding me? So it's really up to you. Convey what you want and you'll get what you need.
Mm, okay.
So I don't know black women or women, period. I speak for myself, Kimmy Kim. This is a disclaimer. Hey, listen, you don't got to pick up what I'm putting down because it's you and your life and it's damn sure your ass. But I will say this, that at
Oh,
the end of the day, I get what Tyler is saying, but I don't feel that I would never, ever once say, I don't have a daughter, but I have 3 beautiful granddaughters and ain't no way in the world I ever tell them to settle for anything. It's entirely up to you what you want to do, period. And I think that at the end of the day, we have to step up and be able to take care of ourselves. But it still ain't nothing. And I mean, absolutely nothing like being able to know that your king got that queen. And I think we all want that at the end of the day. So listen, if you do got a guy that is providing and you know and doing what he's doing, and that's all he can do. That's what Tyler's saying. That's what they all saying. They were saying on the Breakfast Club, like, you know, if he could pay the light bill, pay the light bill. But what I'm saying is, don't just stay there. You know what I'm saying? Like, be like, man, listen, I appreciate you paying that light bill, boy. You know, we ain't got lights ain't been off at all, and I didn't check the bill. The lights been paid up for 6 months. But if you can do that, babe, this is you pouring into him. If you can do that, then you could pay the mortgage. You can do that. You need to encourage and pour into to help them get out what they talents and what they capable of and what they doing. Pour into your person, and I promise you, you will get way more than you ever thought. And Deborah said, or another Facebook user said, I absolutely care more about the man having my back. Absolutely. You want somebody because you can make the money, Sip, but is he going to be there when you sick and you got all kinds of different versions of COVID? Because you know about 10 or 20 of them coming on out. You know what I mean? So is he going to be there for that?
you know, I also think of everything as being progressive. You know, sometimes you pick mates, and obviously at certain stages of their life, they not on point. You know, they
Right.
just said niggas just
That's
getting
right.
out, or somebody having a situation, or they were sick, whatever. Or they
Right.
just fell off. You know, a lot
Or
of
they
times
fell off.
they
Yeah.
fell off.
Yeah.
Anything, you know, or again, or guys that got, you know, that had a bag and then their line of business just tanked. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So now
That's
they're
right.
starting over. So I think a good and when I come to that, and I do, I hear Tyler Perry to a degree, because it's not just saying, okay, you pay the light bill, but it is pouring into them. That's an important thing you said.
Yeah.
I've always believed in what we're going to be doing in our new programs coming up. We're going to talk to you guys about. That's my little
Yeah.
plug.
Yeah.
My belief is you actually invest in your person.
That's right.
That relationship shouldn't stay stagnant, and that person constantly stay. That shit should constantly be evolving.
Yeah.
So at some point, okay, cool, you paying a light bill. So now I got this particular situation. It's a lot of times like the woman, she may work for a Fortune 500 company and she's at the top. She's CEO or something like that, or some sort of exec. She can get him a job where he's working for a branch of the company as some sort of engineer or something like that. Send him to school, get a certification. Like there's some certification now. I think it's called CNC. Remember that CNC I was telling you about?
Mm-hmm.
The certification. A lot of guys are able to make a lot of money
That's
off this
right.
basic certification. So invest in your partner. That's at the end of the day. Invest in your motherfucking partner. Invest in your person. So it's one thing to say, okay, cool. It's one thing to say I accept him, especially if you know they got your back. If he fucks with you the long way, he like you, and he's loving you, and he's loyal and faithful, and all those things that you feel you want, and you guys agree on. Also, pour into him, invest in him, not just say certain things, nice things to him. That's a good thing, but pour into him, invest in him, as and vice versa with your woman.
That's right.
I've seen that happen. I actually thought in the certain relationship, people in my family that I've seen, I wish that certain family members would have invested in their spouse.
Yeah.
I think if they had actually invested in them, they would have got more out of the relationship.
Yep.
Other than saying what they didn't do.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna flip it on that side. I understand, like, if you're saying, okay, you got these crazy relationships or these crazy and or you look at these people who got these back, like all this Instagram people that's on there, and everybody got the big old booties and niggas with the big bricks of money and the big Maseratis and Lamborghinis and stuff like that, all for show. There's a show that's always out. I always see this. It's crazy. It's called it's like the gold digger prank. You ever seen them? It's a gold digger prank.
Oh yeah.
And it's these guys that pull up. It's the funniest stuff.
Yeah.
The guys that pull up, they say, "Hey, yo," they always these baddies. They trying to holler, walking down the street, big old booties and all this other stuff. So they get out and they say, "Mom, what's up? How you doing, Mama? How you doing?" They keep walking. They're like, how you doing? Damn, you gonna speak? You gonna slow down? You gonna say nothing to me? Then they say, I see how it is. They walk to their car, do a remote start the car. Boom. they get in their car, they Lamborghini, and then
Yeah.
the girl comes back to the car. And she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't, you are cute. I'm sorry. It's this weird little thing. So nowadays, these people are dealing with this kind of thing where they're
Yeah.
pushing that
Yeah.
mantra that you want the guy with the bag. And the first thing the girls say to them, like, I thought you were cute. What are you doing today? Like, I'm not doing nothing. They play this little game. Well,
Right.
let's just go shopping. Oh, first you didn't want to holler at me. Now you want to go shopping.
Right.
So that's like that age group, they're kind of caught up in the sensationalism of money and that type of thing. They really are. And I think that to me, it should be more or less like focusing in on who those people are. And then y'all build that money together. I think building the empire is off the chain.
Well, see, we got a lot of young people. They're also in that. I want to say that I would say that it's not just young people that have that. I mean, I've seen guys that have 40 and 50-year-old women, and they in that age bracket, and they was like, damn, she's just as bad as a young woman, because everybody is looking to something that they seeing on social media or screen and think that that's how the life is. But a lot of that is just straight up, I'm gonna go ahead. Y'all know what I say, but I say that's just some toxic, type stuff, because at the end of the day, that's not really what's going down. They fronting, throwing up money, this and that. But I mean, at the end of, I feel like that no matter what we should be doing is having these conversations about what we really want instead of these expectations. I think it's more conversations that's needed than these expectations, because you can start off one way and you both working and you both have it. It's not just starting off dating. It's people that are already in relationship. One of the number one killers of relationship is financial support. And I feel like that y'all just change. We don't, you don't have that. She don't have that. Something happened where you tried to get that. Then you might have got caught up. You had to pay for that. Then she might have got caught up. She got pregnant. Things change from where you start. But do you hang in there? Is there enough history to see that the person actually got your back and that is worth it to stay in the relationship? Because a lot of people are leaving relationships as well, is saying that, you know what, he ain't know nothing, he ain't got nothing. But if you spent time and poured into that person, then I rock with you. Go ahead and do what you do. But if you haven't, and you just complaining, or you just saying, I want this, I want that, and you're not contributing, then that's a problem. We have someone that says, let me see, put this on. I think when he said, okay. I think when you know your value, you want someone of your value and substance. Absolutely. And you can meet someone that have the same value system as you do, belief system. They got substance, they got stuff going on. But life is forever lifing, and things is absolutely changing. So you got to decide, I think, if you want that person to still have your back, or you're gonna kick them out the door because they simply don't have the same financial status that they had at the beginning of your relationship or during the relationship. It's just things happen. People get married, they have children, and they was able to fly all over the world, take trips, do everything, and now somebody got to stay up, or somebody got to stay back, or somebody got to fall back, or somebody got to work more. So it truly do depends. So, ladies, as you all here in Sip and I speaking, we were just for people that's chiming in currently, we were talking about that there was a statement that was made earlier this week that Tyler Perry is basically asking particularly Black women to give the men grace, that if you have a man, you in a relationship, and he's contributing to the relationship at a value of just paying the light bill, so to speak. That's just a pure example. But he's not able to contribute where he could pay all the bills, or if that's what you're expecting. He's asking, he's saying that the way life is currently right now is usually most homes are two, person income. And if you have a guy that's not able to do that, but he's able to do other things that contribute to you all's life, give him grace. And
It was actually more so advocating for women to seek those relationships.
yeah,
So
that's
it
true
was more
too.
like
Yeah, he was
if
like,
you
go for that guy.
yeah, if you want somebody, because
Yeah.
because at the end of in the beginning of the day, I'm gonna say at the beginning of the day, you kind of, if you got your life is established, right, and you got stuff going for yourself, and what you need is that partner, that life mate, or somebody who can enjoy the fruits of your labor with you. And just because that person may not necessarily at that moment be at the same financial status as you, that doesn't mean you should turn your nose up at them and just say, no, you're not worth it.
You're absolutely correct. Okay, someone wrote, I feel Tyler Perry comments really just set us back. Black women are always asked to make sacrifices versus other races. And I'm going to go on to the next one. And it
No,
says,
let's say just continue on.
oh,
Other races don't have that expectation put on them.
okay, so, and then she says, I'm over it. I don't want no one to just pay the light bill.
Right.
Okay, so for this person, I'm so sorry. We can't see your name, but you could put it in and then we can speak directly to you if you don't, if otherwise you can remain anonymous. So I don't feel like I don't feel like Tyler Perry put us back, but I understand and respect what you're saying. It's the position of black people or black women. It's like we are consistently and constantly making sacrifices and understanding all the men and things that they're doing. I get it. I do. I cannot sit here and tell you don't. But I think all races make sacrifices. I think every woman just have the thing that they put up with their guy, their person.
I,
But I also feel like that he was saying that based on the different shows and the different things that
I,
with
I
black
think I
women.
think I think let's do a quick slight deep dive into it. If you think
Okay.
about it, we are in a precarious situation. Black people are not like any other relation or race
Yeah, the
in the
race.
world
Yeah. Okay.
because of the systematic oppression that's been put against us and how we've evolved and how things been taken out of our communities and how women been put in a situation where in order for them to survive they had to put the man at the house to get this that and the other, which further put them in a situation of survival to grow, as you would say, grow a dick and a man grow a penis. It kind of put them in a situation where it kind of was a topsy-turvy. A lot of men went to prison. A lot of men lost their jobs. A lot of guys did not have those fathers in there to show them what it was like to be a man and have perseverance and work through it. So we're in a position, we're living in a period of time where there's a time shift. And what he's saying is that, okay, cool, I get it. The reality of it is this, that the men out there are slim, which is why you don't find that many men. And if those guys are successful,
Mm-hmm.
they usually kind of play the field a lot. Those
Okay.
guys know they could we said this last year. Those guys know that they have. Oh, I mean, just keep it real. They're about let's say it's about 4 or 5. Let's say you may know 6 different guys that
Mm-hmm.
laying it down right in the bedroom. 5, 6 they bomb swag off the point right, but they don't necessarily have money. There's a commonality with them, or they used to have money at some point. Now they don't. But I can guarantee you, there's 4 or 5 women who are very successful on the same level, and so you're going to find more often than not the same caliber of women or the same type of women on live on a certain level where they got their stuff together, and the same number of men who don't. The men who have their stuff together is a lot less than the men who don't have their stuff together, quote unquote, and vice versa. So he's saying if you're successful and you want a relationship, if that's what you need, and you want a relationship and you want to have that comfort, because he's not a 6-figure guy, or he's not he doesn't have a career per se just yet. Don't tone your nose down at him, not ask you to sacrifice or get set back, but more so just say, let me see what's up with him. Especially he's giving you love and showing you concern. He's making you a priority. Because a lot of people that got it don't necessarily make you a priority in their life. That's just, my opinion on that.
Okay. I wanna go to I wanna miss something. So make sure I don't get that. Is it Zeta? Zeta. Okay, so we miss it when they go up a little bit. Wait, I want to get to everybody's comment. Yeah. It needs to, yeah, we're gonna side go up. hmm Okay, there we go, right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I believe this Zita, unfortunately, we couldn't see your name, but I think this is you. And you said we raise the kids, we go to work, we get educated, accepting the epidemic of black men not being available because many are LGBTQ or they're incarcerated, and now we're making them more. Now we're making more than them, and we are asked to now make more
Make concessions.
concessions.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what's the next part? Why not ask us to date other races? That's an option too. So I'm gonna go back just a little bit. Sip did clarify. It's not so much that Tyler Perry or any man I would say that was on the show that we heard, or they're not just asking for grace. They're saying that basically Sip just broke down that the men that our black men are all the things that you just said. Some of them are, you know, not as together, I would say at the least, because it's a lot of different variables to all the things that you said, and well as Sip. Every black man is just not incarcerated. It's also the fact that there's a lot of mental illness going on too for a lot of other things that happen. So it's just a lot of different things. Women too, Black women, all, we all go through our things, but you're absolutely right, Zeta. We have stepped up to do a lot of things that our Black men have not been able to do or just simply chose not to. But at the end of the day, I would say, or you would say, Sip, the beginning of the day, it is absolutely your option to date any race you want to date. It's entirely up to you. But if you're looking for a Black man, we're just saying the choice are few. That's what we're saying. And it's just like a shift has happened. And that is kind of come off that way. I'm gonna go to Nikisha Young, but before I do that, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, the choices in that level of man is few.
Hmm.
There are plenty of men out there. There are
Right.
plenty of men, regardless if they were incarcerated or they're LG, whatever you want to call it,
Hmm.
down low brothers, whatever they are. In certain regions, a lot more permanent than others. But there are a lot of men out there that just aren't at your level,
Right.
and it's just been a shift in within the time in which we've been living. The I guess the society, the way it's been set up, has I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it's just a fact that we just have not had those things, and it kind of put us in a situation where now we're trying to remember. We talk about this all the time. We talk about being to ground zero,
Yeah.
and I say a lot of us are below zero, and
Yeah.
we just want to get to ground zero. So because of the lack of men, or the lack of men in the positions to be present with the women and the children, the women had to step up those roles. With those roles, you got to think as a woman, they're multitaskers anyway by default. Now you got a woman that raises kids, making sure you okay, taking care of the household, and working a job. Now, if you take that same woman who may not have children, but go to a job and manages like that,
Hmm.
do you take a job with three men in that particular position? Only thing men could probably do, in some cases more than a woman, is some manual labor,
Right.
lifting thousands of pounds of stuff on a regular basis. That might be the only difference. But any other job, for the most part, and I wouldn't even say that's the issue, because I know some strong women, a lot of strong women actually. But I'm just saying that there are positions that these women can outmaneuver these men in positions. So why would I got this woman right here can do the job of these three men? I don't need those three guys. So now you get in this position. Those guys don't have the education; they were not around. So now it's a shift. Now we can change that. That goes back to what you're saying. Fool with that guy. If you see if he likes you and he loves you and he wants to be all up under you and he puts you as a priority and he thinks you're the Queen of Sheba or whatever, then I would, as Tyler would say, you know what? Fuck with him, because this guys has got it. And those guys know they got it. And they know other women that's doctors and attorneys. I got 4 or 5 doctors and attorneys making money, got booty, all that kind of stuff. I know 4 or 5 of them, they all fool me. I'm single. I got them. So I can, all y'all good. I just got to pick out who the one I want. That's what their situation is. You looking at, man, I got 4 or 5 niggas laying it down the bed, but all them playing video games. They handsome and 6 foot, whatever, but you got you're plenty in that pool is plenty of them. But for if you want the people that's going to help you be on the same level you're on, then it's a little slim.
I'm gonna go to Nikisha Young. Her says her comment is, I didn't have a real problem with his comment, Tyler Perry. The few relationships that I have been in, and even when I was married, I've always made quite a bit more money than a man. I believe that there are twos and fews who can make much. Okay, then I'll move to the next one.
She said, I believe that our twos and fews. So y'all put together, like you got $2, I got $2.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why it's not working for me. I'm trying to make sure I get to all y'all comments. Okay, there we go.
Just go to the side right here.
Okay. All right.
Just 2 fingers.
Okay. So then we have the next comment is, oh, she said this is her finishing up. She said, I get what y'all saying though. Okay, then Deborah. What she said. Let's put here. Deborah just made a comment. I'll add this. It was Tyler Perry asking for grace for incarceration men or all men? No, he was not asking for grace for anything incarcerated whatsoever. He was simply just stating that there are a few men, as Sip clarified, Deborah, that basically are good guys, and you shouldn't just be based on their dollar amount to judge them to be in a relationship with them. If they're not able to provide, more or make more money than you or be able to do more financially, but they can do something financially, you should basically consider them if you're looking for a good guy. That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, I think some of the women, I'm going to go with Zeta, and just some of the women that I can also say, and I'll speak a little for myself, is that I think, Sip, I think a lot of women have stopped having requirements as well. So men can get completely, they chilling. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just think about it. You tell him to come over. Y'all doing this Netflix, chilling. You know what I'm saying? You busting all kind of, nuts, everything. And then you feeding him good. You like, hey, I made this new chicken. And he like, okay. And every day at 6 o'clock, he pulling up. But when it get to that point where it's the first of the month and you got to pay mortgage and rent and light and all that, you don't see him till after the 10th. So I'm just saying, require whoever you want to bust fluids with is what you finna be doing. And then you will know right out the gate. But some of us are not doing that as women. And then I'm just saying, there's men that would love to meet a woman. And I've seen men, a lot of guys, that they met that woman that empowered them and poured into them something fierce. You hear me? And that's why that woman feel like she 100% possessed it. Like, ain't nobody finna just take what I just did. And I trust and believe me, I rock with that. Because at the end of the day, she did put that in him and he became way more. It's not so much as about we judging or calculating who make more, but he can do more. He could provide more because she poured into him and she didn't just judge him out the gate by what he offers. So if he working at McDonald's, okay, and you working at Burger King, are y'all on the same level? But if you work in Burger King, Wendy's, you know what I'm saying, and a little Subway on the weekends, are y'all still at the same level? So at the end of the day, if you are they? So like you're saying, Sip, there's multitaskers, and it's not there's women that are multitaskers to make a man not do a task in the first place. I'm saying, sis, require it. Say, listen, I respect you. I believe in you, baby. I think you got this, that, and the third. But give them that chance to do that.
I was just pointing out the fact that I'm showing a trajectory of how women has evolved to the point where they're more successful. Their value is a lot higher than it has been in the past, and so I can see why they would be more successful because they have their skill level, their determination, and then being put in a situation where they have to take care of the kids and they have to do all of these certain things. Hell, if I could do all this shit for free, I could do all this stuff for a job. That's what I'm saying. You kind of default for the past 30 years. I know since I've been coming up, my mother and auntie and I see all the stuff they've done and then how they've evolved. And Oprah's came along and said, "Listen, I ain't gonna have no kids. I'm gonna make it do what it do." And so when I saw that, I'm like, "Well, hell, we can't. These women got skills." So I see what happened. And then with the prison rate, with the drug situation, and the prison rate, all that kind of stuff just kind of it just turned the Black community upside down. And now this is the results of what's happened.
See, Sip, I gotta call you out on that one, okay? I gotta just say that I get what you're saying, but I don't really give a damn how much the woman's make. I'm with all y'all, the women and the men. It is few and this and that, but I'm not checking for that man based on what I'm doing because I can't be his mama or I can't be what he learned in his life. But he's going to go through stuff just like I did. And women, we stepped up, yes, and said more women are saying they're not getting this or they doing it. But if that was the reason for you to do it, sis, then do it. You were born with all these talents. But it's the same thing for a man, though. He can do the same thing. I know a lot of confident men that are dating women that do not make the same rate at all. However,
lower rate or higher rate.
They're making lower rate.
So men who making good rate who dating women.
I know a man that's 100%. I'm sorry, y'all. They know me, but I'm not gonna say their names. But he owns 3 gyms, and she's a judge. He don't make nowhere near what she made.
Okay, that's what I was asking you. I wasn't clear on it. You were saying that there's a guy that has that don't make as much money. I thought you were saying it the other way around. There's a guy that makes money. His woman don't make as much money.
So he makes money, but he don't make as much money as she do.
Okay.
But he's still the priest and provider and protector of his home. She don't treat him any less because of that. Now, when they first started out, it was definitely rocky because she did things and she was around people and things that he wasn't exposed to. But do that made him less of a man? No. So you know what I'm saying?
But I'm gonna push back on that. I think that's a little different of a situation. If a person, they both do passion work. She's a judge, which means that she loved what she did. She went and got a JD and then moved on from being an attorney and moved up the ranks, became a judge. Maybe she went straight to it. I don't know. But he's the person that works a gym. In order for him to be to own some gyms, he has to be a fitness person, which means she liked how he looked. She liked what he did, all that kind of stuff. But he had a passion, and their lanes, if they are in the pinnacle of what they do, and
Yeah.
their pinnacles just happen to be on different levels of pay, then that's not even the same. To me, that's two professionals. One just happened to be like, you got NBA players and NFL players. They
Mhm.
both at the top of the game. But NBA players' salaries, they have guaranteed contracts.
Mhm.
So they pay is gonna be higher, but they both at the top of their game. I'm not really mad at that. It's the fact you got an NFL player dating a person that works at Fridays.
But my point that I was making was they both started off on their own in their lives and made a decision for themselves, right?
Right.
And they were in a relationship, they were high school sweethearts.
Okay.
But she went all the way to what she wanted to do.
Right.
And he went all the way to what he wanted to do.
Right.
And they made a conscious decision to make each other be each other accountability person in person.
Right.
So I'm just saying it starts and begin with that. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying now I understand, like I said, there's so many different variables to that, but it definitely depends on what type of person that you are choosing to be with. And at the end of the day, I think most people, whether you want to say it or not, you want him to have your back and the bag.
Right. That's the perfect.
And I'm
that's
saying
world.
you can have it all, but you have to be the one to pour into the person that you want to do that with. That's what I'm saying. You know,
I'm with that 100%.
Yeah,
I think 100% think you did. And I think we need to change that. I think we need to. You put that statement out there. I don't want to leave it. I remember I said all the time that we and our families give us statements, and they say, "Boy, get this." They'll say a word or phrase,
and don't break it down.
And you like, get your credit together. Just leave the room. Like, what is? First of all, what is credit? Boy, don't do that. They just say a word or a phrase. And they don't tell
what
you.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. How they start doing none of this shit. So I think that some people need to go ahead. Like, I need you to break it down and say, okay, listen, y'all. This is what it is. I think it's important to get context. The context is this is the system in which we've been living and thriving in, and this is the results of the shit that's happened to us.
Right.
This is what happened. We're living in the results of the shit that has happened in the 80s and 90s. This is the 2000s and 20s or whatever. So this is the result. We are the children. We are the seeds of that, what that results. And now we got this topsy-turvy situation where in order for you to get, if they take the jobs, let's say Chicago. A lot of people had jobs in Chicago that worked off the docks. Okay. They got rid of all those meals and all that stuff in the docks. So they was making their money. They lived right in the neighborhood. They made money. When they got rid of that, those guys took all that work from off the docks over the east side. The east side started looking like Baltimore, like The Wire. I don't know if you ever seen The Wire. The east side started looking like Baltimore. Okay. And I'm not trying to anybody go in Baltimore. I'm just saying, I'm talking about The Wire. Okay. The east side started looking crazy. So those people that was over there lost their jobs. So they got depressed. Those women were, for the most part, the wives were housewives. This is the 80s, 90s. Okay. So they got rid of those jobs. So those guys couldn't find work. So they took the work out of the country. Their families lived there. So they fell behind. So what they do, they started getting depressed. So they started turning to drugs. And the guys that was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead. I can make this money selling this drugs. They start selling the drug. So when those guys start getting incarcerated and being incapacitated because of the drug, those women that were taking care of the children started to come up. So that whole, we got to look at the whole situation as to why we're in the system that we are in now. Correct. Now, that being said, what Tyler Perry says, okay, consider a guy, if you want to be in a relationship with somebody who's going to love you. I'm talking about
just
love.
Don't overlook them. You're right.
Don't overlook them because they ain't got it, because you missing out on somebody who can really, really, really love
That's
you.
Right.
Who can really, really, who care about who you are as a person, whether you got money or not. But see, don't just leave it there. Go ahead and say, because there's people that's doing stuff like that. I love that Gucci Mane story. When he went to prison, he left his girl with 2 bags. He came back, she tripled and doubled his money. So it's like, invest in your person.
That's right.
Me and you we finna start this car wash. We finna start this doggone whatever. We finna do this new this new AI stuff that's out now. Everybody doing this AI technology and stuff like that. We're gonna invest in that. So you like playing video games? All right, cool. We're gonna put you in doing these type of
we finna create one.
We're gonna create a video game. You know what I'm saying? Or you like having nice cars and driving around, we're gonna open up an auto shop, we're gonna you know what I'm saying, whatever.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. So don't just get him and say, okay, he paying the light bill. At least he my boo. I got somebody wanting me lay up at night. I got some daily dick. No.
Now see, that's what I call selling.
That's settling.
That's settling.
Yeah. So I hear what you're saying. So invest in them. Especially if he like you. Now, not just if he just on for a ride. Like I'm just, you could tell when they just a bum. You can just tell they just bums. They have no interest in doing anything. Don't want to do nothing. You could tell.
Yeah.
But if they're a good person and they got a decent job making $250,000, they making $50,000 at their railroad job. That's not. That's you can work with that. No, you can work with that.
Okay, but I guess I want to get all the way exact. Let's get down to the people, not so much as the minimum wage. But what if you are a woman that's making $50,000 or $49,000 a year? And then you meet a guy and he makes $22,000 a year. But he good. You know what I'm saying? He makes you happy, you laughing, you smiling, you happy. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you already know for him to be a good guy. And basically what I guess the talk was about with Tyler Perry and what everybody was saying, kind of saying, when the men are saying is that don't pass him up just based on his financial status, because that is that's then he could get with you and you all could truly be, as people would say, the power couple, and you grow to six figures. So I think it just depends on that woman. But if you automatically got that on you and you're showing everybody that this is who I am, and if you ain't got this kind of money, don't even bark up against me, don't even talk to me, this and that, then they're saying that you're missing out. And that's just the fact. So at the end of the day, it's entirely up to that woman. Some women might feel like, nope, I'm going to get what I want. And if he ain't doing that, then it is what it is.
I'm trying to figure out how the conversation starts, though. How does a person who is
Okay.
successful get into an arena or a place where you meet a guy who isn't as successful? How did the conversation even start? I mean, obviously he's going to say, "How you doing?" Whatever, whatever. But a
Yeah.
lot of guys, I don't know. Maybe do you know a lot of men that they ain't got nothing. They see a woman that's a doctor and say, "Listen,"
And their confidence game is on point.
and they just
And I'm going for it. To me, I would say that kind of guy shows a lot to me, a lot of value, because it's not about he already sure. That's what I was trying to say earlier, Sip. It's about that person, that man being sure of himself already. It doesn't matter. He is sure of himself. So it don't matter. And I guess that's the problem. I think a lot of times you let all you named a whole bunch of different things. Deborah, you said incarceration, or Zeta, you said a guy that he's of the gay community. I think that no matter what his status is, it's the person that he's with that defines that of how she wants to move with them. And particularly if you just want to speak to us Black women, yes, a lot of women do feel like they made a lot of sacrifices and understandings for brothers, and they just haven't stepped up to the plate. That's a fact too. So
yeah.
that's a fact too.
Yeah. That's a thing that. So now it's like, how do we soften the blow? How do you tell women who've been putting up with niggas and putting up with niggas? I hate to use the N word, and then now they're like, come on, I'm sick of this. Now
It's entirely up to you,
now
sis.
I got to continue to be supportive. I got to continue to do all this other stuff. I got to continue to do what I've been doing. So how do we soften the blow? How do we make it make sense? Which is what the shirt says. The Eddie Edibles, make it make sense. How do we make it make sense?
Well, my shirt say killing the game, because I'm gonna own exactly what I want and how I want it, and I ain't checking for what nobody else is thinking. But the person I'm in a relationship, I'm checking for him to meet my requirement. That's that.
Right.
So at the end of the day, I think Mitchell and Mississippi Spirit, I think Sip and I both agree that you should invest in your person and don't turn someone away simply based on the fact of they may not have this, because they may not have it right now. Doesn't mean that they may not get it. Now it's up to you if you're going to hang in there for that. But if he has earned that spot, sis, don't miss out on all that. You might, girl, you know what I'm saying? I've known a lot of people that have a great come up stories. They started off one way and ended up another. But it's entirely up to you. So invest in your person. That's my take on that.
Yeah, I agree. So I think that we should look at what it is that you want. What are you looking for in your relationship? What are you looking for in the person? What do they add? Do they add value to you? Now, like what I think Zeta said earlier, somebody said somebody adding value to you.
Yeah.
And so what is that value? Is value, is that a dollar amount? Because some value could be continuing on some sort of maybe your religious background or whatever. It could be continuing your legacy of your family's business or your family's whatever. Everybody's educated or something like that, and that's value to you. Or owning your own land, or being free of this, that, and the third. So, what is your value? Does that person add to your value? Because honestly, now if we get really, really deep with it, if that person adds value to you, whether they have money or not, you can still increase. So let's again, if you make $100,000, the guy makes $30,000, but what you have or what you don't have, he has. And y'all needed to connect to make that fucking $300,000.
There you go.
He needed you and you needed him. And you found like, wait a minute, that's a missing ingredient. Now he may only make, you're looking at the tangible stuff. Oh, he don't make, that ain't the thing. because he's probably got a robot. You got the missing ingredient. And
Right.
as she said, you got a missing ingredient that you both have. You could add value to each other and exponentially grow your futures together. And that's what's important. I believe this is what goes back to what we're going to be doing in the future. We're going to talk about our
Let's
new
talk about
program.
it. Mm-hmm.
What I believe is actually getting to know the person from the root of who they are. Forget about the money, because that stuff will send you off. They may make money, do this, that, and the other. That's cool. And it is vitally important for the way we live in today's world. But there are ingredients. There are certain things that people just unlock inside of you that you like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that existed. You can also even make a lot of money and then feel in bondage at your damn job, feel in prison. And this person that says, you know what, you like that job, but you feel in prison. Did you know you can be over here and we can live like kings and make $30,000 and live free and do whatever we want to do every day? And you didn't even know that because of the fact that I want to make this money. So let's look at that. So when I go back, that's why I say put context in it. Don't just say the money, the dollar amount, because that good stuff send you off. You can make that money, but hate your damn job.
Right.
You could be, there's people that had their business. I was telling you the other day, you was like own the business. There's people that own their business, own their own job. They can't even they don't even have time to go on vacation because they have a business. But if they don't be there and they don't do it, no money is made, and it makes you hate that damn job, that business you have. Yep. So that person might be the person like, yo, you tripping. You could use this automated, this AI situation. You could do this, that, and the other. Woo, woo, woo. I know only make $15,000 a year, but I just help you make $100,000 because you have something that I didn't know you had. I didn't know existed, but I see that little glitch, and I can help you fix it. So it's all about knowing the root of the person. At the end of the day, and we're gonna talk again. We're gonna talk about this, what we're building in the future, because we're going beyond. And I'm gonna take this time and talk about what Kim and I is going to be working on. What we're working on now is beyond just like we're doing our show, and we're building, we're rebranding ourselves, as you can see. And we thank you guys for rocking with us. Yes. And we've been on hiatus for a year. I think hopefully you saw other videos. We got into why I wasn't around. But beyond that, we have a different purpose and vision. And our vision is to really, really get into the root of what's going on with our people and to really help them all the way from the soles of their feet to the moles of their head. And I want to really get involve what's inside of you. Let's get past this silly stuff that keep us in bondage and keep us overlooking and looking past people that can really, really manifest great things in our lives. We bypass people because they don't have the right look or the right money or not in the right class or don't walk a certain way or talk a certain way or ain't the right color. It's like you missing your whole blessing because you're looking at things that don't really fucking matter.
Right.
And you don't know it yet because we've been programmed. So now I want to work on what we're going to talk about, which is why we brought this show up today, is we want to work on getting out of that, changing that mentality that we have.
Belief systems.
That belief systems of you got to do this. Again, I ain't mad at the money. I totally listen, I like money. I love money. But I love myself and I love my freedom. I love my choices. I love being able to do what I want to do even more so. So that being said, we have to look at what that person adds, how they add value to you. And that value that they add to you could be immeasurable. There couldn't be a dollar amount on that. So just throwing it out there. I ain't trying to get super deep on you, but that's what we at with it. You're gonna start seeing us talk some real shiggity on this piece.
Yeah, I agree. I think that what we're talking about, since we can go ahead and say that we appreciate everybody that's chiming in. You got different, we see somebody just said, I agree, SIP. Don't know your name. Unfortunately, we can't see it. Nope, it's not. But anyway, for whoever is saying that, I want to make sure that we just shout y'all out. We appreciate the love and support that's been provided and given to us. And as always, the Mitchell&Mitchell Sip and Spill show, we like to talk about topics people don't want to talk about. We like to go there, and that's okay. And if you here for it, we are too. Go ahead and check us out on Mitchell&Mitchell Sip and Spill, and that is our YouTube page. And you can also check us out on Instagram, and that's Sip and Spill 2022. You can check us out on our Sip and Spill Facebook group. Go ahead and join today. Let us know who you are. We'll send you out love. We got a lot of different things coming up, as you will be seeing us coming back live, as we always do. We have just name a few. We have a different that we like to do Motivation Mondays. We like to do Thirsty Tuesdays. We like to do Wisdom Wednesdays. And we like to do therapy sessions on Thursdays. So go ahead and check us out. I mean, I think that what SIP is most important, talking about what our new program that's coming out, and you'll be hearing more about it, is that we just want to be able to give a platform bigger than what we're here for today. This was given to us a year ago, and now we on our journey to continue to bring more and more of what God really put in us to bring out. And that is a platform on a broader scale for people to really find out what you was your true talent you were truly born with. And just as we saying invest in other person with other people, we're telling you guys thank you for investing in us. And we're going to invest right back into you and giving you the content that we know that you want to talk about each and every time. Each and every time.
I want to ask this one question for the people that's viewing and watch the show today and watching it live and watching it later on this evening or tomorrow, whenever. I want to ask this question. I want you to ask yourself. It's a very simple question, a very, very simple question. I want you to really take it very serious. But I want you to ask this question. Take some time. Don't just say a word or say a phrase. Ask yourself, who are you? It sounds very simple. Who are you? Who are you doesn't necessarily mean what you do, your title,
Mhm.
and what children you have or whatever. Who are you? And a lot of us overlook who we are to the core of us. And so that's what I want to ask yourself. Actually ask yourself. And I'm gonna ask again if you guys chime in on the next live show. I asked you guys, did you guys find out who you were? I was asked a question a few years ago, and it was really, it's kind of like, who am I? Like, okay, I'm black. No, 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 not your race. Not that you're a male, not that you're a father, or you have this career, or your title, you're the PhD or doctorate MD in front of your name or whatever. But who are you? In that room by yourself when nobody's there and you talking to yourself and nobody is around. And when you were a child, those very vulnerable moments when you were talking to yourself and actually responding to yourself,
Mhm.
and you see what you do like and don't like, and things you say in your mind to people that you want to say and you don't say, and things you just don't like that you can't just articulate, or things you want to do you can't necessarily express. That's who I want to get into. We want to get involved in that and start finding out who we are, and then we want to cultivate that person. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that on the future shows, and what we're going to be doing in the future.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for chiming in. And this is the wrap for the Mitchell and Mitchell Sip and Spill show. And I'm your girl, Kimmy Kim, aka Spill. Until next time, we'll be back with more blazing topics, and check our characters out. Check us out on Thursdays. You don't want to miss when Dr. K talked to Tyreek, because I know all y'all going through some child support situations or going through some things. And Dr. K is one of our characters. You will be seeing more and more characters coming out, and you'll be checking us out on our YouTube page. Go ahead, or TikTok. I mean, we on that too. So check us out.
And we'll be bringing out Dan. Dan will be coming back. I don't know if y'all remember the infamous Dan. Dan is a misogynistic jerk.
Oh my
He'll be
God.
coming out there and be talking all type of shit,
Yeah.
what women shouldn't be doing, and what people should do, all type of stuff. So I really want y'all to tune in on that. We're gonna really expound the character. Our TikTok shows and our Snapchat and Instagram is going to be a lot catered to the to crazy stuff, to the funny jokes and stuff like that. So if you guys got any topics or anything you guys want us to talk about, or some scenarios you want us to act out, let us know. One of the things before we go, we got 1 minute left. One thing I want to say, if there's something you want us to talk about, we said it before, if you don't remember this, if it's some shit you want to say that you really can't say to your person, or you want to express, and you want us to do it, we will say it. We'll make it anonymous. We'll make some fictitious names, or we'll act it out. And we got a bigger platform now. We have stage. We got all type of things we're doing now, and like we added on to things we're doing now. So we're going to put more productivity behind what we're doing. So if you got something you want to say, or you want to speak on your behalf, or bring something to somebody's attention, let us know. DM us, Instagram, send us email or whatever. We'll do it, and we'll give you that wink. Like, yeah, you know what we're talking about. Yeah, you already know we're talking about you. Talking about your monkey ass. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it. We're going to play it off like that. So food is, listen, are you good?
Yeah, thank you guys for the great show comments. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for chiming in. We love you guys. Listen, we like you. We love you. We want more of you. Listen to me. I said, we like you. We love you. And we want more of this. We want more of you. Okay? We haven't been here in a minute. Forgive us, but still fool with us a long way. Fuck with us a long way. Okay? It's been real and it's been fun. And every time we do our show, every time we get a chance to connect with you guys and talk to you guys and vibe with you guys and learn from you guys, it's always, don't ever get it misunderstood. It's always real motherfucking fun. Holla back at your peoples. We out.
Peace, y'all.